Boy, it's like 85 degrees out here today. I think officially, well, they did say we're supposed to have a cold front. But it's getting back to the heat, Chad. It's come back. And guess what? We still do it in the heat, too. We still do it in the heat. Yeah, we still do it in the heat, which is all good. See, guys, what we got to realize is that it's really, really easy coming out here putting the work in. Yeah, it's easy. That's the easy part. A breeze. You know, once you got your mind focused, it's a breeze getting in shape. It's a breeze. But a lot of people, they want to switch it and make it seem like it's hard to do these things. It's actually not. Very, very easy. What's hard is always being in trouble. Always bickering and complaining. It takes way more energy to complain. It takes more energy to quit. You know, a lot of people got quit on their mind. I ain't gonna say blood, but quitting, it's a mind thing. You know, especially these days. A lot of people, it's easy for them to quit because that's how they have been trained. But you got to break the barrier and push through, and you'll be amazed what you can accomplish. Take it from the OG. You'll be amazed on what you can accomplish. You'll finally understand what I've been understanding for 25 summers. It's easier to have a foundation, you know what I'm saying, and build on your foundation. You know, I talk about foundation a lot over here. It's easy, you know what I'm saying, once you're building off your foundation. The hardest thing to do is very, 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 very difficult. It's harder when you got a messed up way of thinking, a messed up mind, you know. It's hard to do all those things. Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to argue with people. A lot, guys. It takes a lot of energy to argue. It takes a lot of energy to break the law. It takes a lot of energy to disrespect somebody in their family. It takes a whole lot of energy to do those things. You know, no matter how people want to think about it, it's very, very difficult. You know, in other words, getting in trouble is difficult. It's hard. You know, once you think about it a certain type of way, it's easier to be respectful. It's easier to build a foundation for you and your family. It's easy to come out here and run 3 miles and walk another mile and a half. You know what I'm saying? Then go work out at night and eat right and drink the proper amount of water. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you that trying to live your life right and trying to stay on the right path is hard. It's not, Chad. Take it from the OG. I know by experience. You know, when I was eating bad, not exercising, you know, not listening to what my parents tell me to do, you know, or arguing and complaining with family and friends, arguing and complaining with strangers, just being negative altogether. You know what I'm saying? Once I switched to the other side, I was like, dang, bro, this is so much easier. It takes too much energy for bickering and complaining. It takes so much energy. It takes so much energy to quit, to want to quit. Like I'm running 3 miles and all of a sudden something tell me to quit. It takes a lot of energy to quit. Take it from the OG. It takes a lot of energy not to do this walk down. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? If I use all that energy to quit, I can use all that energy to put the work in. Right? It actually takes less energy. Less energy when you know you're on the path to success. When you know you got the proper steps that you're putting in and you working on every single day. And you programmed it in your mind and you programmed it in your subconscious mind. It's actually easy. It's easy to get up here and do what I do. It's easy to cut this live on and go to talking. It's easy. It don't take no energy. It's effortless. Why is it effortless, Stock Sniper? Because this is what I do in real life. This is a normal routine for me. So guess what? I cut the live on, and it's like the live, like I ain't even live because I'm living my normal life. It's when you come, not just on the internet, but when you in real life, if you start pretending, you start being something that you start being something that you're not, you know what I'm saying? Then it takes a whole lot of energy to keep that up every single day. If I'm faking every single day, if I'm faking and shaking every single day, guess what? It takes a lot of energy to do that. And eventually, I gotta take a break. But guess what? I'm doing what I do every single day. I'm gonna cut the live on every single day. Cause why? Cause I'm doing what I do. If you rock with me when I'm watching the football games, when I'm watching the UFC, I'm just doing what I normally do. It's so easy to be yourself. It's a lot easier. Just be yourself. You know, if you like connecting with the people, just be yourself and connect with the people. But you gotta find what yourself is. A lot of people, guys, don't even know who they really are. And that take it from the OG. A lot of people don't know who they really are, chat. A lot of people they waste too much time trying to figure out who they really are when it's standing them right in front of their face. It take too much time, you know what I'm saying? When it's right in front of your face of who you really are. You know, some people don't even know who they are. I know people, you know what I'm saying, they're 60 years old, just now finding who they are. Of course, it's better late than never. But if we focus on the thing that's supposed to be focused on, you know what I'm saying? Like getting to know you as a person. Be who you are. I can't be like LeBron James. I can't be like Tom Brady. I can't be like Michael Jordan, as an example. I can't be that. You know what I'm saying? I can't be them. I can only be me. And if I try to be something that I'm not, it's gonna take too much energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can come out here and do all this, chat. That's why I can exercise 3 times a day. That's why I can get on the live and cut it on, because I'm being who I am anyway. It's just a normal thing. I'm just showing it to the world. I'm just trying to inspire the world. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to do. And guess what? If I cut the live on and y'all get to see what I'm doing, no matter if I'm watching a football game, if I'm watching the UFC, or whatever the case may be, if I'm at the Super Bowl, or if I'm at wherever I'm at, or whatever I'm doing, if I'm in this nice outside gym doing what I do, guess what? I'm just being me. But if I come on here and start being something that I'm not, like acting, showing a side of me that I'm not, it's gonna take too much energy. You know, if I wanna, like a lot of people, they get excited about the glimmer, they get excited about success. You know, if I let success change who I am as a person, guess what happens, Chad? It takes a whole lot of energy to be fake and phony, a lot. It takes a lot of energy to be fake. It takes a lot of energy to be phony. It takes a lot of energy, a lot. Listen to the OG. It takes less energy just being yourself, and it's good on your mental health. Just be yourself, and guess what? You're going to come across the people that you need to come across. But a lot of us these days, chat, we don't understand that it takes time. You know what I'm saying? It take a lot of time. You know, it takes time. In other words, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And we got to understand that. And we got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? And we got to stop worrying about distractions, right? Like Jacob here. I think he's been in the chat before. Hi, best buddy. Start panting like a dog. He's been in here before. And he said that before. You know what I'm saying? Like buddy. You know what I'm saying? Distractions, right? Distractions are come not just on the internet, but come in your life, and you're destined for success. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and you'll have somebody like Jacob try to throw you off your pattern when you are doing what? Staying in your own lane and minding your own business. You'll have somebody like Jacob try to throw you off. But then that's when you got to be mature enough, you got to understand that you got to stay the course. Like this right here, Y'all wonder why I do this. It represents staying in my own lane and minding my own business. That's exactly what it represents. Long as you stay in your own lane and you mind your own business and worry about what you need to be worrying about, which is you, your kids, and where you want to be, where you want your kids to be, long term, that's all that matters, chat. As long as you put God first or whoever you believe in. Some people, a lot of people these days don't believe in God. So whoever you look at, it could be a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Long as you are staying the course and you doing what you're supposed to do, nothing else matters, chat. And understanding that it's gonna be distractions. Somebody gonna come in your life and try to throw off the whole thing, your whole trajectory on what you got going on. That only happened on the internet. It happened in real life too. You could be, for instance, if you're young, you could be going to school for something, right? You could be going to be a welder. You could be going to school to be a doctor. You could be going to school to be a nurse, or fill in the blank, whatever the case may be. And somebody will come with some negative things. It's only the devil to try to come with some negative things to try to throw you off from your success course. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta push them off to the side. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be mature about it. Push them off to the side and keep on going. That's what you gotta do, Chad. You gotta remember that. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody or nothing throw you off. That's why it's good, like I said the other day. I've been using a great tool on YouTube. We're gonna talk about YouTube now because I see a lot of people, like YouTube. I've been using this very, very important tool on YouTube. What is Stock Sniper? It's called unrecommend. That's what it's called. Unrecommend. So in other words, when it's people that coming on your screen that's trying to throw you off like Jacob just did, all you gotta do is unrecommend them. That's all you gotta do. Because if you unsubscribe, that ain't gonna work. They gonna still come up, they still gonna come on your recommended. But you gotta unrecommend them. And you don't have to worry about them no more. Then you can get back on course and focus on what you need to be focusing on. That's how you gotta do it. See, not only in life too. Sometimes you gotta unrecommend, you got to unrecommend people in life. People that's negative. People that ain't trying to go the way you going. People that always, you understand what I'm saying, Chad. People that's in that situation, you have to unrecommend people in real life as well. You got to unrecommend people in life as well, because guess what? That'll mess with your inner spirit, your mindset. And guess what? If you have a specific plan, it'll throw you off your plan. Just emotions alone, right? Anger will throw you off your plan. Take it from the OG. It'll throw you off your plan. And sometimes, chat, I know people in real life that was doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Headed to success. Was focused on their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But guess what happened? One thing threw them off and messed up their whole life. I know people in real life, you know what I'm saying, that were great, as an example, great football players on the path to success, could have went to the NFL. But one simple thing, you know what I'm saying, the enemy come in and infiltrate, and you let them break inside of your lane. And guess what happened? The dreams of going to the NFL was ruined. Now that same person is sitting over there on MLK right now. Just by one simple mistake of not staying focused. You know what I'm saying? Of not staying focused. You might say, man, that really ain't gonna affect, my life. That ain't gonna affect the future. But you never know. One little monkey wrench. That's all it takes is somebody to throw something in your throw a monkey wrench in your program. You know what I'm saying? And it'll ruin your whole entire life. Somebody need to hear this. Somebody can throw a monkey wrench. Monkey wrench is hating on you, being negative. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get you off your course. If you fall for it, they just threw a monkey wrench in your whole program. That's why it's very important, you know what I'm saying, to unrecommend in real life. How many of us have people in real life that we need to unrecommend? The same that I'm talking about YouTube. On YouTube, we have to unrecommend some of these people that you know ain't no good for your marathon, because life is a marathon, not a sprint. Somebody that's not going in the same path that you going in. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got to unrecommend some of these people on YouTube, you got to unrecommend some people in your life. You know what I'm saying? More so life than YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Some of us got people we need to unrecommend in real life. What does unrecommend mean, Stock Sniper? That means if you see that person, you go the other way. You avoid them. In other words, you don't be in the presence of them at all. Why? Because they bring a certain aura and a certain bullshit and bubble gum that you don't need to be around. You don't want to be the one that's headed in the right path, chat. You don't want to be the one that's headed in the right direction. You never know. You might be on your way to be a doctor. You might be on your way to be a lawyer. You know, you might be on your way to be a business owner, whatever the case may be. You might be on the way to success. And all it takes is one person to throw in a monkey wrench. That's all it takes. And everything you worked hard for can come crumbling down. And as an example, I run in marathons. I exercise every day. I run 3 miles a day, and I walk another mile and a half, a mile and a quarter, just for maintenance, right? Just for maintenance and every day, because life is it's a lifestyle. So I'm running 3 miles every single day. I'm walking another mile and a quarter, and all of a sudden, somebody come from the sideline over there. Somebody come from the sideline and throw a monkey wrench and get me to stop exercising for one day. That one day, chat, can turn into a month. That one day could turn into a year. That one day can turn into me not exercising at all. So that's why I say you got to pay attention, chat, to who you socialize with in life. You got to pay attention to it. Listen to the OG. You got to pay attention to who your surroundings are, chat. Because guess what? It could be your family, gonna be your biggest hater. It could be somebody in your family that could be your biggest hater. You got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what, chat? Success leaves clues. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that. Success leaves clues. And all successful people, guess what they do? They keep their eye on the prize, and they don't let nobody throw no monkey wrench in what they got going on. And they understand that life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You know, because guess what, chat? What we gotta realize is very, very important, and this is a very, very big tip. Most regular people don't have a 90-day plan. You know what I'm saying? Most of us don't have a 90-day plan. Most of us don't have a 30-day plan. Most of us don't have a yearly plan. But guess what? Guys, all the ones that most people don't like, the 1%, they have a 100-year plan, a 50-year plan. You know what I'm saying? I sit here and talk about a 10-year plan or a 15-year plan. But guess what? Guess what? The big timers, you know what I'm saying? All these billionaires, they have a 100-year plan, guys. 100. So what is our family gonna look like in 100 years? What our family gonna look like in 50 years? You might say, well, dang, Stock Sniper. You know what I'm saying? 100 years, 75 years? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody thinking that far. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That's what generational wealth is all about. You know what I'm saying? Generational wealth is all about thinking about your great-grandkids, right? And if you look at it like that, you know what I'm saying? If you're thinking about your great-grandkids, if you're thinking about your great-nieces, if you're thinking about your great-nephews, that's 50, 60 years. If you're thinking about your great-great-son, if you're thinking about your great-great-grandson, if you're thinking about your great-great-great-grandson, guess what? That's 75 years down the line. Some 50, some 100. So we got to look at it like this. We got to start thinking how the billionaires think, chat. They're not thinking 90 days. They're not thinking a year. They're thinking they're thinking 50 years. They're thinking 100 years. You know what I'm saying? They're thinking about their great-great-great-grandson, their great-great-great-granddaughter. And guess what? When you're thinking 75 to 100 years ahead of time, you look at life differently. Most of us, chat, don't even have a 90-day plan. Most of us can't even stick to a 90-day plan. You got people that can't even quit smoking for a month. You got people that can't stop drinking for a month. So you mean to tell me you can't stop drinking or smoking a month to change the whole trajectory of your family? You can't stop drinking or smoking cigarettes a month for your health? So I'm saying, that's what we gotta start thinking about, chat. That's what you gotta start thinking about, chat. Long term. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that it's gonna be mistakes along the way. Someday, as an example, I run 3 miles every day, then I walk another 1.5 miles. Some days, my ankle might hurt. Some days, my arm might hurt. Some days, my back might hurt. But guess what? As soon as I put in the work, I find out that it's nothing but a distraction. It's all it is. It's just a monkey wrench. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get thrown into my program. To get me to get off my pivot. But guess what? I gotta stay on my pivot at all times. You gotta stay on your pivot at all times, chat. You gotta stay at your pivot at all times. Which place is this? This is the outside gym. If you come over here, you gotta be putting the work in. This is the outside gym. It's what it is. This whole thing is 2 miles. So it's the outside gym. That's exactly what it is. 98-22. I quit all those things. I quit for all those reasons. Thank God you quit. May God bless you and your family. Beautiful. Yeah, I got a golf course over here. You know, you can play golf. You can exercise. But this is the outside gym. That's what we use. This is the outside gym. Look over there. But where I'm at right now is the outside gym. You got the golf course over here. You got a park over there. You know, you got the train for the kids right there. Really nice, cool place. Good for your mental health. It's good for your mental health. Good for your spiritual health. And good for your physical health as well. You know, I love it. You know, and that's the thing about lifestyle. You know, that's the thing about who you hang around. That's the thing about who you listen to, chat. That's the thing. You want to be in a great space mentally. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in a great space mentally, you know, and you got to find out what that space is for you, right? You got to find out positively what productive thing you can do to keep your mental health in a good space. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that. Listen to the OG. We got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot has to do with it, with who you listen to and who you are around. That has everything to do with it. Who you listening to and who you are around. Who you look up to. Who is your mentor? You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs somebody to look up to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. A teacher is a mentor. A pastor is a mentor. A coach is a mentor. You know what I'm saying? We all need mentors to teach us about the facts of life. You gotta understand that. You can't be ripping and running. You know what I'm saying? Like a wild dog. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people act like wild dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have, and then they don't have, which is unfortunate. Some people chat don't have no mentors to look up to. And the people they look up to is piss poor. We gotta understand that. And it's not about looking up. It's not about looking up and having any kind of mentor. You gotta have the right person. You know what I'm saying? The right person is doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, I hate to say it like this, chat, some people look up to crackheads. You know what I'm saying? Some people look up to people that go back and forth to prison. You know what I'm saying? Some people look up to people that ain't got their life together. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know, so we got to pay attention to who we look up to. We gotta pay attention to who we call big bro. You got to pay attention to who you call big bro. Because sometimes, majority of the time, big bro is really a bum. Gotta understand that. Sometimes who you look up to as big bro don't know his left from his right foot. So I'm saying, so you gotta pay attention to who you look up to. You gotta pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you be trying to find somebody to look up to. Everybody you know might be a bozo. Everybody you know might be trash. That mean, you know what that mean? That mean you need to change your surroundings. That's what it means. You have to change your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that. Because life is about growth and development. You know what I'm saying? Growth and development. And if you starting from square one, you ain't got no room to talk about nobody. If a person is starting from square one, you really ain't got no room to talk. Only thing you should be doing is putting the work in. That's the only thing you should be doing. If I was starting from square one, you know, meaning that I done fucked up majority of my life and I ain't got my shit together, you know what I'm saying? I'm steady, I'm crawling and I'm falling and I can't get up. You know, there's a lot of people that do that. If I'm in that type of situation, guess what? I ain't got time to be doing nothing but trying to build something. I ain't got time, but only thing I have time for is to go from nothing to something. And guess what? I don't have no time to be wasted. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Time slows down for nobody, chat. Time slows down for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it's levels to life. And we got to understand that. It's levels to life. That's what we got to understand. It's levels. You know what I'm saying? If I'm on level 1 and I'm trying to get to level 10, I can't concentrate on what Daniel is doing. I can't concentrate on what Sue is doing. I can't concentrate on what Chris is doing because I'm still on level 1. That's why that's why people are stuck at level 1. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that they slow. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that they dumb. It's just that they focusing on bullshit and bubblegum. That's what it means. Let me say it again. If somebody's stuck on level 1 or can't get off level 0, that just means they not focused on what they need to be focusing on. They're focusing on bullshit and bubblegum instead of focusing on what really matters. You know, there's a lot of people, and then they worrying about they can't get to level 4 or they can't get to level 2. When all you got to do is focusing on what you focusing on, like me. I'm focusing on my run. I'm focusing on my walk. I can't be worrying about somebody else, and I'm out here exercising. I can't be worrying about what Chris is doing over there on MLK. I can't be worrying about what John. I can't be worrying about what Sue Ann is doing on MLK. I can only worry about what I'm doing right now, which is staying in my own lane, minding my own business, and putting the work in, knowing that it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. Because if I start worrying about what's going on MLK, if I start worrying about what so-and-so is doing, I'm subject to stop running. I'm subject to stop walking. I'm subject to get uninspired because I'm worrying about the wrong thing. Too many times, chat, we worry about the wrong thing. Too many times, we worry about the wrong thing. That's why I like this. Because it tells not only me, but it tells the world I'm in my own lane and I'm minding my own business. And it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. With that being said, chat, I love and I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for your time. I hope you learned something. Tunnel vision, that's right. That's right, Jermaine. Appreciate you. That's a great word. Tunnel vision. That's what this represents. Thank you, North Cross. That's what this represents. Tunnel vision. Because guess what? My pot of gold is at the end of the rainbow. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. If you're just not tuning in, make sure you subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. To the next one.